Hello and welcome everyone to today's webinar. Today we'll be learning about how PO systems like Common Sense's GEMpos can integrate with smart inventory software to help you address visibility on your rising costs. My name is Megan Ng and I'm the marketing manager here at Common Sense. Some of you may know my colleague Ricky Keys, regional sales director here at Common Sense. Ricky, if you want to just wave to everyone, let them know you're here. We're really excited to introduce our co-host for today's session, the team from Yellow Dog Software. From the team, I'm pleased to introduce Ryan Roller, Account Executive at Yellow Dog. We also have Lindsay Gwynn, Partner Manager, and Greg Cook, Senior Sales Guys. Thank you guys so much for being here today.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. Oh, sorry. So before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping rules. Let me get you guys out of the share screen. A recording of the webinar will be sent to everyone following today's session. So if you're taking notes, don't worry, you'll have the recording in your inbox by tomorrow. Attendees are muted and have video turned off for the enjoyment, listening, and viewing experience for everyone. We are taking questions at any time, and they can be entered through the Q&A button. But in the interest of time, we'll only be responding to those questions during the Q&A segment after the webinar is completed. Or sorry, after our session is completed. On the agenda today, we'll share a little bit more about our partnership with Yellow Dog Software. Ryan will dive deeper into the solution with a live demo, and we'll take questions at the end. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Ricky.
Thanks, Megan. The industry is being challenged with a specific managing costs variant on inflation and other issues. Ongoing labor challenges are one. There's high turnover in entry-level roles, difficulty filling specialized roles, and a lot of burnout from having to work. Also, just finding people, just finding people to fill the needs. And you also have some cuts in the FTEs that you have. That's a yearly thing with most of our customers. They have to look at the FTEs. The rising food and supply costs aren't helping. There's inflation in both food and goods, and that makes an increased pressure on margins. Savings in disposable costs, any type of additional waste that you could have by not being automated hurts you. And the higher expectations for efficiency, that's where automation comes in. You're having to make everything more efficient with what you have and maybe less than what you have. So today we're bringing one of our partners in, Yellow Dog Software. Yellow Dog's been a partner with Common Sense since 2011. We've been great partners. They've been a great partner to us. And since most of us probably have GEMpos that's attending today, our GEMpos is directly interfaced into Yellow Dog's software. So Megan, the next slide, please.
Yep.
So thank you. So Yellow Dog is a partner of ours, and Ryan Roller will be here. He's going to be showing you what they do and the product. Take it away, Ryan.
Oh, you're on mute, Ryan.
Sorry about that. Thank you, everyone.
No worries.
I'm Ryan with Yellow Dog. Very excited to be here today to tell you all a little bit about Yellow Dog and our inventory management solution. So just to start out, little about us. We started doing business 20 years ago. Our founder and CEO owns and operates 100% of Yellow Dog, and we operate debt-free, meaning we don't answer to shareholders, we answer to our clients. In fact, most of our enhancements in the system are client-driven. Why are we called Yellow Dog? Well, when Jay Livingood, our founder, founded the company, he had a yellow lab named Sola, and he wanted his company to be everything that Sola was: loyal, hardworking, dependable. We have a team of about 75 plus employees whose sole focus is inventory and inventory management. We operate in all 50 states in the US, 8 countries. We do primarily focus on North America. Software is only available in English currently. And we operate in 9 main markets. And just to give you an idea of how powerful a tool Yellow Dog is and the level of service that we provide, about 60% of NFL teams, 70% of MLB teams, 50% of NHL teams, and 30% of NBA teams all trust Yellow Dog to manage their inventory. If it works for them, it's going to work for you. So where are we a fit with GEMpos users? Well, Yellow Dog has the ability to manage both retail and food and beverage inventory. So we're a perfect fit for gift shops, coffee shops, and cafes, grab and go, and cafeteria environments who need a robust but easy to use tool to manage their inventory. With our integration to GEMpos, we can manage both retail and food and beverage inventory. For retail, inventory items are natively created and managed in Yellow Dog and fed to GEMpos, and then inventory is depleted when the item sells. For food and beverage, menu items are going to be created in the GEMpos and then mapped back to Yellow Dog with cost of goods sold departments so the system can properly apply revenue. And we have the ability to map recipes in Yellow Dog directly to items in the point of sale for ingredient level depletion, as well as theoretical cost of goods sold reporting for those food and beverage items. Why is Yellow Dog such a good fit for businesses like yours? Well, we've built tools for operators, not just administrators. We have the best mobile app in the industry that runs on any iOS or Android device that'll allow you to scan and upload your invoices, log waste and shrinkage. F&B clients can also use the mobile app as a digital recipe book. And most importantly, you can quickly and effectively count inventory on any iOS or Android device. Do you want to count even faster? We have barcode scanning capability that can take a full day's worth of counting inventory and get it done in an hour. And if you want to go even faster than that, we introduced a native RFID inventory solution this year that can make hours into minutes. Print price tags and labels with an embedded RFID chip, walk into a room, pull the trigger on the scan gun, and the inventory is counted for you. We've introduced this to several different types of clients this year, and the feedback we've gotten is incredible. One of our clients told us that before they had Yellow Dog, their monthly physical inventory counts took roughly about 13 hours, and it was an all hands on deck affair for their end of month inventory counts. When they introduced barcode scanning with Yellow Dog, that went down to about 3 hours per person, and roughly about 75% reduction in labor, simply because they didn't need as many people to count inventory. And as they introduce RFID scanning, that 3-hour timeline is down to about 3 minutes now. They walk into the room, they pull the trigger in the gun, inventory is counted for them. Our system is designed for high-speed operational environments. We give real-time data updates, real-time reporting, and the system can actually automate reporting to you in any frequency via email, including embedded directly into an email or even just as an attachment. The biggest difference between Yellow Dog and the other inventory management systems on the market today is the level of service that we provide. All of our clients get a full white glove implementation when they onboard with Yellow Dog. We set up their item catalog database, and we provide end-to-end user training for the entire team. We also have a low-cost solution to manage your inventory database for you. Our data services team will actually process your invoices for you for clean and effective purchasing, fix data that's been entered wrong, and they can even build and map recipes for F&B operators as well. Finally, before we jump over into a live demo of the system, how can you work with Yellow Dog? Well, process is very simple. You schedule a 30-minute introductory call with Greg, myself, or another member of our team to discuss your inventory management needs. We'll provide you with a custom quote, as well as a walkthrough of our system geared towards your specific needs. We'll meet one more time to discuss any outstanding questions, contract terms, hammer out specific workflows, as well as discuss onboarding and implementation. And then once you're signed on and onboarded with us, our implementation team will reach out to schedule your project kickoff call. And you can, Greg, our senior sales guide, he runs our institutional and retail markets. His contact information is right here, which I believe we'll be sharing this out at the end of the meeting. Now, for today's demo, what I want to walk you through, very simple. I want to show you how Yellow Dog can effectively manage your purchasing. Very easy, very straightforward. We'll take a look at an uploaded invoice into the system to show you just how easy it is to upload invoices to Yellow Dog. We have the fastest turnaround time on invoices in the industry. It's pretty much instantaneous. You upload an invoice, it's done via OCR and AI. We'll take a look at actually counting physical inventories. We have a couple different ways that we'll look at that today. And then we can take a look at the level of reporting that Yellow Dog can provide to help you better manage your business. Stop sharing my screen here for just 1 second. Okay. So I'm using Yellow Dog today on just a regular Windows computer. The solution is completely cloud-based, so you're able to access it on any PC, any Mac, or any internet browser. Essentially anywhere that you have an internet connection, you can access our back office software. I also have our mobile app pulled up. Again, our mobile app is available on any iOS or Android device. No need for any additional hardware when it comes to using Yellow Dog. Everything works on the devices, PCs, computers, Macs that you already have. What I want to take a look at first is, as we talk about inflation, rising costs, and just being more effective with purchasing, is how Yellow Dog can really optimize your procurement and purchasing. So you're not over ordering, wasting items out. We have a couple different workflows within the system to be able to do this. We can either create requisitions to create blanket requests for all items from as many vendors as you have or as you need to order supplies from. You can create purchase orders in the system and actually send purchase orders directly to the vendor via email right out of the system. You also have the capability to upload all your invoices to receive the product into Yellow Dog. And if you have multiple outlets or any kind of central receiving, such as a warehouse or storage outlet, you have the ability to transfer items from outlet to outlet within Yellow Dog as well. What I want to take a look at first is just creating a purchase order and showing you a couple different ways that Yellow Dog can optimize the procurement. So we'll go ahead and just create a new purchase order here. We'll select the outlet that needs to receive that. We'll go ahead and select a vendor. And with purchase orders, you have a couple different options to add items to a purchase order in Yellow Dog. You can hit add line items. That will bring up your entire catalog for that vendor. But to make things very simple for you, we have this add items from capability where we can actually add items based on par levels and reorder points. You can add items based on sales. You can even add items based on sales, transfers between outlets, and adjustments to inventory for waste, shrinkage, spillage, things like that. We'll go ahead and just add some items based on a par level here. And we can select whether we want to do below a reorder point or at the par level. Select that par level. And the system is going to go ahead and tell us all of the items that are below a par level and how much we need to order to get back up to that par level. So we'll just select these. We'll round those quantities up. Boom. Now my order from this vendor is done. We can go ahead and add any expected arrival dates, any internal references, descriptions, instructions in the purchase order. Once we go ahead and the purchase order is good, you can even make adjustments to this as you need to. If you wanted to add more of a quantity than what your par level is, you can go ahead and do that. You can go ahead and commit the purchase order. That will put all of these items on an on order status in Yellow Dog. And we can even email the purchase order directly to the vendor from right within the system. Your ordering for the week is done. That took all of about 5 minutes. Now, when items show up, you have the option to either take this purchase order and convert it to an invoice, but you don't have to do that. The system can receive all of your invoices digitally. We offer invoice scanning, again, on any iOS or Android device within our mobile app here. We can just scroll down and go to invoice upload and take a picture right on that device. You can email invoices into the system as a PDF or CSV attachment. Your vendor can actually email invoices directly into the system as well. We can give them the email address for your Yellow Dog system, and they can just email that invoice directly to you as a PDF attachment. We also have EDI capability with most of the broadliners on the market today, and we're always adding new EDIs as vendors are excuse me one second, as vendors are adding that functionality as well. Now, to receive product into the system, we'll just take a look at an invoice that's uploaded into the system. And this is an example of an invoice that was scanned and uploaded. You can actually view the original invoice from right within the system. It will pull up a copy of the invoice that was uploaded here. And the system will scrub all of the information off of that invoice. So the vendor information, the invoice number, the amount, the invoice date. You can also add any internal references, descriptions, instructions, just like you would with a purchase order. You have the capability to link invoices to purchase orders as necessary. So we could actually link that to the PO that we just created in the system if we wanted to. And then what you're doing when you're receiving an invoice into the system is you're mapping the purchased item to an inventory item within Yellow Dog. So it doesn't matter what vendor you might get an inventory item from, what brand, what pack size, that purchasing information is agnostic to the inventory item in Yellow Dog. You can have as many vendors, as many brands, as many pack sizes for purchasing of your inventory items as you need to. If you've ordered the item before, it's already been mapped. The system will show you a little green check mark here and say, yep, this purchasing item is mapped to an inventory item in Yellow Dog. If you have a substitute item, let's say the sour cream, maybe we got it from a different vendor this week, or from a different pack size, a different brand, you can go ahead and just assign that item right to an inventory item in Yellow Dog. And if it's a brand new item that you've never ordered before, you also have the capability to just go ahead and create that item as well. In that sour cream example, we don't have sour cream in our system, so we'll just go ahead and create a new item here. And we have a level structure that can hierarchically categorize your inventory as you need to. And we'll say this is dairy from this vendor. The system, as you're creating the item, the system will pull the name of the item from that invoice, but you can name it however you need to. If you have specific naming conventions, like that. You have the capability to assign inventory items to specific locations within Yellow Dog. So items can be available at certain outlets and not the other. Very helpful if you're managing retail and food and beverage in Yellow Dog. Your retail items can only need to be assigned to the retail locations that sell that item, the food and beverage items only to the food and beverage outlets within Yellow Dog. You can select your size of the item. These are all pre-populated, but you can create custom sizes within the system if you need to. We'll just say this is in each. And then we're going to go ahead and just paste the purchasing information right from Yellow Dog into here. Save and close. That's a SKU that we're already using, unfortunately. And we went ahead and just created that new inventory item, and we'll map it to the purchasing item. So very easy. The system will also flag inventory items that may be over a set variance threshold. So you have the capability within Yellow Dog to set variance thresholds for invoices. So the variance threshold that we have set today is 25%. So the system is flagging in red that this item here has actually gone up over 25% since the last time it was purchased. Actually, the percent increase on that is 64.66% to be exact. You also have the ability to add any invoice expenses as you need to. Freight, fuel surcharges. Fuel surcharges are obviously making a big comeback right now. So you actually have the capability to take that fuel surcharge and apply it to the items on an invoice if you do get any fuel surcharges from your vendors. And then we can go ahead and once all of our items are mapped here, we can go ahead and actually receive those items into the system. So very easy to manage your purchasing within the system. Again, if you need, and also for any operators that have multiple inventory outlets, such as warehouses or moving product between locations, inventory can be transferred within the system as well very easily, both not only in our back office system, but that can also be done in our mobile app as well. Mobile app also gives you the ability to create requisitions, as well as mark purchase orders as arrived and to receive purchase orders within the system. Now for counting inventory, we have a couple different methods to be able to count inventory within Yellow Dog. It can all be done digitally on our mobile apps. So for food and beverage, most of our operators are utilizing our count sheets module on any iOS or Android device. You can log into count sheets and you can create a session here. And creating a session is going to allow your employees to count in different areas on different count sheets at the same time. And then Yellow Dog can pull all of those counts back together for one physical inventory for the whole property for that period. We'll just go ahead and select the count sheets. Now these count sheets are customizable, so you can create as many count sheets as you need to within the system. On that count sheet, you're setting up how those items are laid out. So you can actually add multiple sizes of items. If you have, items that you may need to count by the each, by the case, or by the pack or bag, things like that. You don't have to do any of the math while you're counting. You can add all of those different sizes to as many count sheets as you need to, and the system will calculate how much based on that size that you're counting. Once your count sheet is actually loaded on any iOS or Android device, you do not need to be connected to Wi-Fi or have cell service to count your inventory. So if you have any areas on your property where you have a weak cell signal or there's no Wi-Fi coverage, walk-in refrigerators and walk-in freezers are a great example of this. As soon as the door shuts behind you, you lose Wi-Fi capability. You can actually count your inventory offline, and then when you get reconnected to Wi-Fi or cell service, upload those counts to the back office. And as I mentioned, these items can be set up on this count sheet however you need to. Our typical recommendation is sheet to shelf, but we have operators that alphabetize these. The system can alphabetize this count sheet as you need to. You can also group them by departments or categories of items as well. To count inventory, it's very simple. If you're doing sheet to shelf, we start at the top. We can enter how much is sitting on the shelf in front of us, hit enter, and just move on to the next item here. You could add decimals, addition, subtraction, multiplication as you need to. You do have the capability to enter zeros for items as well. Coming from the food and beverage as well as retail industry, I know that can be very important. Not making sure that you're not skipping over or missing items in an account. You do have that capability to enter zero in our mobile app. From the mobile app in our little utility menu down here, on any iOS or Android device, you have the capability to access the device's cameras to scan barcodes to count items as well. So this Focus with Camera will open up the device's camera. You could scan a barcode using the device's camera. It will pull that item up on the count sheet, and then you could just count how much of that product is sitting on the shelf in front of you. You have the capability within the mobile app to also reorder this count sheet, and you can add items to this count sheet from the mobile app as well as you need to. So if you ordered a new item this week and maybe you put it on your freezer count sheet, but you weren't thinking about it and realized I also need this in my walk-in because when I take it out of the freezer, it needs to thaw. You could just add that very easily while you're counting your inventory. Once your counts are finished in count sheet, you can hit long press to finalize. And we'll send, and there's a little issue here with my screen share. I apologize for that. We'll send that count over into the back office. And you'll get a confirmation that that session has been sent over as well. Now, for even faster counts, we have a second app in our ecosystem called Count XL, which just very easily gives you the ability to scan barcodes to count inventory as well here. So we can just go ahead and I have a little scan sheet here with some barcode item lists with some barcodes on here, and we can go ahead and just scan those barcodes. And we can either scan each barcode individually to add quantities, or you can scan a barcode and then enter how much is sitting on the shelf in front of you. Like I said, we also offer RFID inventory for retail as well as specialized inventory where you can just walk into a room, click the trigger on the scan gun, and the inventory is counted for you. Now, from a reporting perspective, in hospitality, you live and die by your reports. It's the only true metric to know how you're doing. Yellow Dog has about 400 or so standard reports all squeezed into these folders here. For food and beverage, you can see your cost of goods reporting, your theoretical cost of goods reporting. For retail, you can check your sales, your movement, all of your purchasing, your inventory. What we've gone ahead and done as well is we've created for retail and each for retail and food and beverage, about 100 or so reports that our operators use the most. So we can run for food and beverage here, a food costs by department between 2 inventory periods, where we can see our cost of goods by department. We have the ability to actually create categories within a cost of goods sold department too, to break out those costs as well. And if you have recipes configured in the system for food and beverage, you also have the capability to run A versus T reporting for your theoretical cost of goods. To see what your cost of goods should be against what they actually are when you count your inventory for the period. I'll just show you an example of an A versus T reporting to really show you the true metric of the level of reporting within the system. So we can actually see what our actual ending quantity of these items is against what our theoretical ending should be, our actual versus theoretical usage, as well as our actual versus theoretical cost percentage, and see that difference between those to see where are you losing money in your operation. You can also run plate costing reports. You can actually set target costs for your recipes within the system and actually be able to run reports to see for food and beverage operators if your recipe target costs are in line with how you've priced your menu. For retail, you can run your sales reports, reorder reports, whatever you need to. And all of that can be automated out of the system. So the system can actually generate any of these reports that you need at any frequency and email them to you at the scheduled time and either day of the week or day of the month, either embedded directly into an email as a PDF, CSV, or Excel attachment as well. So I'm just, again, very robust and easy to use inventory management solution for retail and food and beverage. I believe Megan, we have a Q&A session that we can jump into as well, if you'd like.
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it. So if you haven't already, you have a question for Ryan or anyone else that's here with us on the panel today, you guys can go ahead and drop that into the Q&A button just at the top of the screen. I'll give everyone a few minutes to go ahead and do that. And while we're waiting, okay, so there is a question here about RFID. Can you explain how the RFID works?
Yeah, absolutely. So within our system, we can print labels, price tags, with embedded RFID chips in those labels or price tags. And we have a RFID scanner device that you can walk into the room. It's radio frequency. For those of you that don't know what RFID stands for, where you can walk into the room, you press the trigger on the RFID gun, and it bounces a radio signal throughout the room and essentially counts for you the amount of items with RFID labels.
Okay,
so
awesome.
very easy. Again, it can turn hours into minutes.
Okay, great. There's another question here. Does Yellow Dog integrate with any other systems? For example, invoice, AP, and journal entries?
Yeah, absolutely. We have all sorts of integrations. We have over hundreds of integrations for accounting, for AP software. Most of your major accounting software is on the market. We can export AP entry invoices as AP entries to accounting systems. We can also export journal entries for inventory related transactions that take place in the system, such as adjustments for waste and shrinkage, transfers between outlets, as well as returns to vendors. If you have any e-commerce, we integrate with most of the major e-commerce providers on the market. Same way that we would integrate just to a regular point of sale, where we can push the item information into the e-commerce provider and then deplete the items as they sell, so you're not able to actually sell items online that you might not have physically in your shop to be able to fulfill that order. We also integrate with open to buy solutions, just pretty much anything you can think of.
Okay, there's a follow-up to the RFID question.
Okay.
I would love to know from Shanika Maxwell, I would love to know how RFID works with cycle scans.
Same way it would just with if you're doing a regular end of period inventory count, you can do cycle counts within Yellow Dog. So spot checks, cycle counts as you need to. And same thing, you just walk in to the room, press the trigger on the gun, the device will count all of the inventory for you. And we can pull that into our physical inventory editor to update those on hands without actually having to close out a full inventory period.
Okay, looks like, okay, so we have a question from Robert Collins, who is a user of Yellow Dog already, it seems. He says, I've noticed that my micros items sold does match Yellow Dog on items sold. What are some issues? What are some things to look for to correct that issue? I think he means does not match the item sold.
Okay. Robert, we can absolutely put you in contact with our client services and support team to address that issue. We do have a troubleshooting report within the system, and I can quickly share my. There's a under standard reports, Robert, in troubleshooting, you can run an all sales captured report to verify that we are receiving those sales from your micro system. But we'll reach out. I'll reach out to you here after this meeting, and we'll get you in touch with our client services team to troubleshoot that issue.
Yeah, we'll send that contact information over. Okay, so it looks like that was the last question. Oh, sorry, everyone. Just so with that concludes our session today. Thank you all for joining us. If you have any other questions, you can email our team, sales@csense.com. There's also Greg's contact information there, gcook@yellowdogsoftware.com, or you can visit either of our websites there on the screen. A recording will be sent to you all shortly. Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.